you're still doing it. You're still doing it.
Behave that way.
Here, Jane, you want to take this?
I don't think any of us should grow up.
We are rolling.
All right. Could you tell us your name and how long your relationship to Windsor?
I'm so old that I've forgotten my name, but it's something like Lon Pelton, I think. And I grew up here in Windsor. Family's been here since the settlement of Windsor. And my father was an officer in the Windsor Trust Company, and which was a bank in the center of Windsor. It's still there. And on the weekends, he used to have a part-time job at the Rainbow Reservoir. And whenever he went, my mother was a shake the entire time he was gone, because he'd go up to the reservoir and dive down in front of the dam and where the water came in and scoop all the trash, the leaves, the limbs, the whatever built up on the dam, scoop it off, bring it up, and I believe it was a krupa, I'm not sure, I think it was a krupa that was on the bank, and they would pack the stuff up and get rid of it so it didn't get back in the water again.
What's it
But
called?
a krupa was a family. They lived down there where Freddie Grimshaw is now. And one of the Krupas, I believe, worked with Dad, but Dad did the diving, and I'm not sure if Krupa ever dove or not. Maybe some other Krupa family knows that. But I know my mother was just a wreck the whole time because she was afraid that somebody would open the dam, open the sluice or whatever it was called at the time, and suck him against the screen.
Why did he do that?
Oh, my father was kind of a nut like his son. He just wanted to do things that were, different, I guess.
Was he scavenging the trash, or was he doing it to clean it up?
Oh no, it was a job. He was paid by the Stanley Works, I believe. He was paid by Stanley Works to clean it because the trash would build up and the water would not, would block the water. And there were screens on the front, some kind of grating. So that's where that's what he did for the Stanley Works.
Yeah, and I know you have some stories about the Rainbow Dam and your experiences around there.
Yeah, but I'm really not supposed to tell that one. It's
Is there just one?
it was a sort of a bad boy story. We were rather mischievous as children, which most children are, I guess, at some point, but no, we better keep that one out. Let's see, what else? Well, of course, the Rainbow Dam, the Oil City Dam is where we kept where our Boy Scout camp was. And just before that, on the road down to the Oil City Dam was a campsite for the Boy Scouts back then too, and then we moved it down, and we used to drink the water from the spring that came out there, which is now green and purple and every other color from the dump. But yeah, we used to drink that water.
So you were in the Boy Scouts?
Boy Scouts, yes. Cub Scouts and Boy Scouts.
What was the troop number? Did you have numbers?
I'm awful. I'm dyslexic and I can't remember.
That's okay.
140, 149, 120, 149.
Yep.
Yeah.
203, 56. Right?
149.
We were in 203, we did it.
He had the same
Right.
story. Camping down there, the Oil City, the Boy Scouts.
Oh, yeah? Nah, you're too young.
Me? Nope, I was a scoutmaster when we took them. Yep. It was I want to say at least when I was camping there, at least 15 plus years ago. So, yeah.
Oh my gosh, to me it stopped. I had my Model A down there. I camped down there one night in my Model A Ford, and it froze. It froze, and I had to build a fire underneath it to warm it up before we could leave. But that was in the early 50s. So, and I thought the camp had stopped by that time, but I don't know how long. I didn't know how long, but Sharp and Kemp were the scoutmasters in the 50s.
Yep.
and they pretty much ran the thing down there for us, and it was.
Was Parker, was he around at the time?
Parker.
Libby's husband.
Frank Parker.
Yeah, was he there?
But he was. I don't believe he was a scoutmaster or anything. Then I can remember him being there. I remember and another gentleman too.
So tell me, where did you grow up, or where were you when you were?
I never grew up.
When you were younger.
Prospect Hill Road. And you see this right here? This is a gas line that I flattened out off from a Model A Ford that I bought at the age of 12, and I bought it at that red house right down here on the right. It was up on the field between two apple trees, and George Lang ran the Lang's garage, and he gave me a battery, and I put it in my basket, and I drove up there, and I tried to start. I couldn't get it going, went back, and he told me how to time it. And so I went back and timed it and got it running, put my bike on the back of it, and drove it all the way down across the Iron Bridge, up West Street to our house on Prospect Hill Road. And I still have a sore spot right here from my father when the spanking I got. My father was police commissioner at the time, and I got a spanking, but I had my Model A. And that's the oil line. I've never been without my Model A. That's the gas line to it.
That's fantastic. So it was worth it.
Of course, we used to work for the Brown farm here, and I bought my first tractor across the street, right on that street that goes up the hill. There's a new street now. That little house that's always been there, there was a farm all F12 there, and I bought it, and we tried to get it started. We towed it out into Brown's farm with my Model A, and Danny Sullivan was driving it, and it had a big iron wheel on the front, and we were trying to start it. Well, he wasn't paying attention, let the wheel get sideways, dug into the dirt, flipped the tractor over, and he flew off into the grass. We stood it back up again, pulled it again, bam, it started right up. It needed that flip. And that was in about 1952, 53, something, 51, something like that.
That was your first tractor?
That was the first tractor I had. F12, and I sold it to a gentleman out in Granby, and I just took my wife out a year ago to see it, and it's been sitting there ever since with the canvas all rotted, and I got there and it's gone.
I got a good question. Well, not really question, but you do all the iron work that's throughout the town. Mind speaking a little bit about that?
Oh, you mean my scrap metal work?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, I started that in the 50s with silverware, and I built a turtle for Kenny Lampson. And then later I started to get into bigger things when Windsor quit the mosquito spraying. And where we live, it was just horrible there. So I built that mosquito and put it on the front walk of the town hall, and in the middle of the night. And then I said afterwards, when they caught me for it, I said, well, now what are you going to do about your mosquito problem? Which they have adopted it, and it went into the pond.
Yeah, because when I was growing up here in Windsor back in the early 2000s, I always called that pond Mosquito Pond, even though it's Molly the mosquito.
Right.
Yeah.
And of course, that's not a very good mosquito pond because there's so much life in it that when a mosquito lies larvae, it's eaten.
Yeah.
You know, the mosquitoes are not bad from ponds that are well furnished with fish, and we have a pond. We have 3 ponds on our property, and I've got crayfish in there, and there's rarely any mosquitoes. In the last 2 years, we've had no mosquitoes, which is an absolute miracle. This year, it's horrible again. But that's what she was in. Molly her name came from her stinger is a molybdenum inboard propeller shaft for an inboard boat, and it's made from molybdenum. So that's how she got the name Molly.
Where where do you get all the metal for all the sculptures?
Well, I've been in the demolition business for 50-something years, and I do a lot of demolition on farms, you know. So when the farm ends and we have to demolish it, I get the metal, and I just scrap yards let me pick, but I have to have all the metal for my work has to have the shape. That's why I need so much metal. It has to have the shape already because I don't bend and cut and make. I have to use that piece of metal that gives me the shape that I want. That's why I have probably over 400 tons of scrap metal down there. And I just started getting rid of some of it. It's just too much.
Well, Lon, thank you so much. Really, I know you could talk, and we could certainly talk to you for hours, but I don't want to keep you. So
I wish I
so
could
much.
tell you about the Oil City Dam situation that us kids did there, but my buddy Dan's down in Ohio, and if I had him here and we could discuss it, we might decide to let it go, but we were bad boys. But we can't get caught now. I can't do anything about it. I think the time limit is up.